All right, what's going on, beautiful people? It's the North Shore 9 Postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm Tyler. With me is Neil. I'm under the weather today, battling through it. Neil, how we doing?
I'm fine. I'm in.
Yeah, that was a clunker.
Watching this team makes me so annoyed. I'm fine though.
Yeah,
Ready to talk about it.
we're gonna get into it. Pirates dropped this one 10-5. Dropped their 81st of the season. So that's a thing. It's pretty frustrating, man.
I just need them to win 2 more. I got them on 72.5 over. I just need them to win 2 more, and I didn't think that'd be a problem, but I'm starting to get worried. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, if they keep playing the way they are, yeah.
Like,
But before we get into all that, let's talk about Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance to weekly prizes and the share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino, get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our 150 slot games. Head to the website today and get in on the action. Bet Online, the game starts here. Neil, I was thinking about starting this at the beginning of the game, and then at one point I thought we were going to be happy. But
yeah,
let's just get it right to the David Bednar part, because the Pirates clawed back into this thing. David Bednar comes in the 7th inning, and David Bednar looks exactly like he has looked for the majority of this season. First
yeah.
batter gives up a home run. The second time this week, Derek Shelton has had to pull David Bednar in the middle of an inning. I'm at the point where I don't think we can really watch him pitch anymore this year. I'm
Yeah.
good pulling the plug on the year for him.
Wouldn't be opposed to shutting him down. I mean, it's crazy to me that a random retired baseball player can just watch video of David Bednar and tell that he's tipping pitches, but somehow we haven't figured that out. Like the guys who work with him every single day, because it doesn't look like he's changed anything, but it's comical because yeah, his stuff is better than it has been throughout his entire career, but people know what's coming and it's obvious. So unless that changes, there's no point in letting him pitch again.
Yeah, and the run he gave up, the home run he gave up today, that's just a curveball that he just leaves at the top
Yeah,
of the zone. And now we're starting to see the location fall for him. I think we just need to pull the plug on 2024 David Bednar and let's try again next year.
yeah. I mean, there's no point. Like you're he's clearly not at it, and he's clearly hasn't been confident in a very very long time. And they keep trying to give him different innings, different situations to get that confidence up, and he keeps blowing it. And he blew this game. Well, Beeks kind of blew the game wide open, but he started the whole trend. A third of an inning today, a
Yeah.
third of an inning, 3 runs. Yeah, 1 hit. It was a disaster.
It wasn't. God only knows how much worse it would have been if he would have remained in the game. Beeks wasn't any better. Like I mentioned, Shelton had to pull Bednar for the second time in a week in the middle of an inning. And Jalen Beeks, who actually has been effective for the Pirates, he just couldn't throw a strike. He threw it over Joey Bart, almost threw it into the stands. The bullpen was awful today.
Yeah, I mean, it was 2 people who were awful today. I feel bad for the rest of the bullpen that actually did kind of decent work today. But I mean, that,
Yeah, I guess.
sorry, go ahead.
No, if we're going to continue on the bullpen talk, I did think Holderman looked good today.
Yeah, he did. Um, Baraki looked fine in a meaningless situation. But I mean, it was bad tonight. Holderman and Bednar and Beeks completely ruined this game, which sucks because you mentioned they clawed back into it. I was really hoping we get to come on here and talk a lot about Billy Cook today, and instead we get to talk about this.
Yeah, so naturally the Pirates bullpen blows another game, and it's been the story of the season. Same thing. we can complain up and down about everything else, but if the bullpen just performs like they should have, this team's above 500.
Yeah.
If they perform to expectation, this is probably an 85 win team.
Not sure about that, but
I mean, like they have blown so many games.
they have. I agree. But I just think that's just the nature of the bullpen, that it's not nearly as good as what we thought it was. Like, I don't know. Like, when we look at some of the names that have come through this bullpen, yeah, we've had some successes. Like Chapman's been a success. Santana's been a success. But like Baginski regressed. Holderman blew up. Bednar blew up. Like, it is clearly just a regression a bit to the mean here.
It sucks because we were really counting on that being the strength of this team.
Yeah, I mean, we were, again, like MLB.com put us at the third best bullpen coming into this year. And
when you come into the year with Holderman, Chapman, and Bednar, you expect 3 innings to be locked down.
yeah, you're really hoping for that old Shark Tank type deal, and not even close.
Nope, not at all. So let's rewind it back here and kind of recap the game. Jake Woodford gets the start for the Pirates, and I kind of want to give him his flowers. He's not good. He hasn't really been effective. But there's something about that guy that I like. I like the way he just attacks hitters. His stuff doesn't play at a major league level, but he's just going to throw strikes and hit him. Try to hit him. And
Well,
he's eaten some quality innings for the Pirates this year when they've needed him to, and allowed guys like Jared Jones and Paul Skeens to have an extra day rest here and there. It's just, I want to tip my cap to him a little bit. Normally, I trash the guys that aren't very good that the Pirates play. I just like the way the guy pitches. He just attacks.
I'm not going to trash Jake Woodford because it's not his fault. He's on the MLB team. His ERA is up to 7.97 on the year. I blame the people who have rostered him, that they've given him so many starts. It's just not acceptable to be throwing this stuff out at this point. Like, obviously the season doesn't matter, so really who cares that Woodford got a start today, but I can't believe we have seen so much of him this year.
Yeah, and the Cardinals were able to get on the board on one of his meatballs because he does fill the zone up with just 92, 93 mile an hour fastballs. So the Cardinals get a 2-run home run off of him. Then they come back and score another run on a Paul Goldschmidt triple that Brian De La Cruz showed again. He cannot play right field.
Yeah.
And the sad part is he wasn't the worst right fielder on the field today.
Only the Pirates, man. No, I mean, I know he got a sacrifice fly, but what a disaster. I know he homered last night too, but I mean, it really has been the worst possible situation for Brian De La Cruz. He can't field. He's been hitting like G1 Bay. I don't know how you justify rostering him next year, even with the years of control. I don't know how, like, if you're serious about winning, you let him come back and be on this team.
I don't disagree with you. So he misplays the ball in right field. Paul Goldschmidt triples. Cardinals go up 3-0. I believe Arenado singled after that, and they went up 4-0. Might have been reverse order. And then the Pirates started to claw back into the game.
Yeah.
Top of the fourth, Jordan Walker, right fielder for the Cardinals, just decided he had no idea how to play right field at all. He has a ball hit right at him by Andrew McCutchen. He apparently lost it in the lights. Gets by him. Kutch gets a double out of that. And then I think it was the next at bat, another fly ball in the gap. He just didn't judge well.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan Walker's poor. I feel bad for him because the Cardinals just kind of Henry Davised him there, where he was like a natural third baseman. He didn't really play outfield, and then like he kind of got up to AAA in the majors, and they suddenly stuck him there. So I do feel bad for him in that sense, but I'm also laughing because I want to see the Cardinals players fail. And no, we were very fortunate. And then, well, then we got Billy Cook.
Yeah. Well, so Jordan Walker has the outfield blunders there.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Brian De La Cruz's sacrifice fly. I actually do want to give him some credit there because it was a good at bat. He went the other way with it. He did exactly what he should do with less than 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Just hit the ball in the air the other way. And that's something this team just doesn't do enough of. I'll give him credit there. He did it.
He did. And the home run was a good at bat. This was a good at bat. It's just been way too little, way too late.
Yeah. And then Nick York, who had another good day, he's collecting hits left and right.
Mm-hmm.
He had a solid approach there as well. He kind of got caught on the hands there, got jammed, but an inside out swing bloops one over Paul Goldschmidt's head, drives another run in. Those are 2 really good approaches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm impressed by York. You know, I don't think anyone sees like a whole lot of power there, but I think, you know, like I said, looks a lot like Nick Gonzalez last night without the whiff issues, and I think I'm going to stay by that. I think you're right. The approach is really good. The approach at the plate is awesome. I think he's aggressive, but he's also not stupid about it.
Yeah, and I think he has really good barrel control. He's able to get the barrel to a lot of baseballs, and I'm curious to see how the power is going to shake out.
He's a line drive guy.
Yeah, and God, the Pirates really did hit the line drives and the gaps today.
Yeah,
that ball was carrying, but it was a good performance here by York. Maybe not so much defensively, but at the plate, I thought he looked solid.
I'm not going to blame him too much defensively, just because third's not really his position.
It's not. I don't get what we're doing that for.
I don't either, to be completely honest. I know, like, we're trying to go for positional flexibility, and like it's the end of the season. They're trying to see like what they can do, but like, why is Jared Triolo playing first base? If he's going to play, put him at third. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. That's a really, really dumb decision.
Yeah, you can put Billy Cook at first if you really want to. You can.
Yeah,
you can get more creative than putting Nick York at third. And he did make it. There was actually another play later in the game. He made a diving stop, but I felt like he should have just went and stepped on third instead of trying to pop up and get a double play, and he had no shot.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. It was clearly like a split-second decision. But he really didn't look comfortable there. But yeah, I mean, he's a second baseman and a right fielder. Like, that's what you have him as. That's what he was playing in the minors. Don't get cute with this. Like, I don't know. Again, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to see what they have, which is what we asked for. I get it. And we wanted them to play every day. So I guess I can't complain too much, but like, it was dumb. And it cost us runs. Like, that was one of the biggest catalysts to the Cardinals getting all those runs in the 6th. Sorry, in the 7th, my bad.
Oh, yeah, 7th. Yeah. Let's talk about Billy Cook here real quick, because he did have a 3-run home run today. He gave the Pirates the lead 5-4. And really what I want to talk about here is something that happened there in the 4th inning. He has an opportunity. He's up. He ends up striking out. I believe he just got breaking stuff away from Sonny Gray. And it's less than 2 outs. Again, same thing I said about Brian De La Cruz. Same thing I said about Nick York and what they did. Billy Cook was up there swinging out of his shoes trying to pull the baseball. He strikes out. His next at bat, he goes up there. He gets a pitch on the outer half of the plate. He goes the other way, hits a 3-run home run. That's a good adjustment. That's good baseball.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I've had, like, you know, he hasn't hit too well since coming up, but like, I like his defense in the outfield. I like his flexibility, and that was a really, really nice home run. A really nice day from him. 2 hits. I do really worry about like the whiff rates.
Yeah.
I think that's really going to be something that's going to hold him back. But no, he's a lot more intriguing than a lot of the other guys on this roster.
He's athletic.
Yeah,
that helps. It's hard to really get anything from him in this last month of the year and really make a judgment. To this point, I don't think he's looked good at the plate. I think his approach has been pretty bad, but I did like seeing the adjustment he made today. And again, it's hard to get anything out of this little stretch we have going.
Yeah.
But You got to keep playing them and see what you have.
Yeah, and I choose to be more optimistic about them. Like, I think out of all the options we have, like in terms of who we can throw into the outfield that are currently sitting in AAA, I'd rather like see a Billy Cook as a fourth outfielder than a lot of these guys.
Oh yeah,
Like over Sawinski or Palacios or Michael A. Taylor. Like, give me Billy Cook every day.
well, as long as he hits, at least that
Mm-hmm.
he's got to hit. Plain
I
and
agree.
simple, this team has to find some guys that can hit.
Mm-hmm.
They need more guys that can hit a baseball, and there just aren't enough guys on this team that can hit.
100%.
So if you can hit, they're going to find a spot for you. I feel like at least.
Mm-hmm.
But Billy Cook does provide some flexibility as well as a fourth outfielder, being able to play first base,
Mm-hmm.
can move around the diamond a little bit. So he's going to get opportunities. He's just got to hit, man. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see what we do with an off season of him and seeing him in spring training, what kind of adjustments he makes. Because yeah, like there's what, like 10, 12 games left in the season, something like that. Like you're not going to get, you're right. We're not going to get a definitive thing about him,
Yeah.
but again, play him every day on the stretch. I want to see him in the lineup every day. I don't care how they do it. If that's at first base, so be it.
Yeah, do what you got to do. Aside from that, who Joey Wentz did come in, got out of the I believe it was the fifth inning.
Yeah.
Whenever Woodford came out of the game. I'm going back to I could kind of see the vision there with Joey Wentz. You can see the extension he gets.
Mm-hmm. No, he's a high strikeout guy who really struggled in Detroit. Seems like he has a really good cutter. I think they're trying to Baraki and Moretta him, whatever. Basically have him throw his one good pitch all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's effective. Like, it's all about the consistency, but I didn't hate the move, and he's been fine. I don't think he's been like overwhelmingly impressive, but I think he's been fine.
Aside from that, Isaiah Kiner Falefa, another 2-hit day. He's kind of broke out of his little prolonged slump he had there. I guess at the very least, at least they got a professional hitter at the trade deadline. I don't know about upside with them, but I'm trying. I'm trying to be positive.
It's hard to get excited about him because he's another soft hitting middle infielder. And we have just seen this team trot out so many of those. And they see one of the better ones, yeah, like he is. But like, I don't know, man. Like singles hitters don't excite me if you're not hitting well enough, and he's not hitting well enough. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
So
but I'm also tired of hearing about the thump from other guys and then them just not hitting.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, his WRC plus since joining the Pirates is under 70. So
yeah, he did have a prolonged stretch there where he was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like he's sort of breaking out of it. Another guy that just weirdly is breaking out of pretty much an awful season is Jared Triolo. He's been hitting the ball relatively well for like a month and a half now.
He has. Yeah.
Like significantly better than Brian Hayes.
Yeah. I mean, I think his OPS was dangerously close to getting under like 510 at some point. And it's now at a 620, which I mean, definitely not lighting the world on fire, but I think that's the frustrating thing about the second half of the season, that the offense still isn't good. Right. But like Kutch has picked it up. Triolo has picked it up. Grandal picked it up. Like you even Gonzalez, since coming back from injury, has been pretty darn good too. There are like guys that, like you mentioned, like if the bullpen does come through, like the offense sometimes has done its job, but it hasn't been enough. And Triolo is interesting. I don't know if there's a roster spot for him next year, but at the very least, I'm glad he's hitting the ball.
I think there's a roster spot for him next year.
I think it gets tough with like IKF and Hayes and York being up there as well as Cruz, but who knows? I'm not the general manager. I don't make the roster decisions.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting on how a lot of this shakes out, which is why we want to see these guys play right now, because you need to get some answers.
Yeah. No, we thought Girolamo was done. Like, I think, a while ago we were saying, like, why is he on this team anymore? And, like, credit to him, he's definitely picked it up. And another 2 hits today.
Yeah.
Combined 6 hits from our bottom 3 in the order.
Yeah, I mean, Nick York is hitting, what, 455 now?
Yeah. It's sustainable.
Are they all singles?
Yes. Every single one of them.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, hey, we take our mini. I think someone called him Freddie Sanchez. We'll take our little Freddie Sanchez.
I wish. All right, Neil. Anything else you want to touch on here today?
I'm mostly just like, do you want to talk about Brian Reynolds?
Sure.
In the first base thing.
Yeah.
Picking up the glove.
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay. I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest. I understand. I don't think he's as bad in the outfield as like people say he is. I don't think he should be playing left field at PNC Park. I don't think he has the speed or the range for it. I think right field's his place, but I see the vision if like you put Reynolds at first, and because there's no good first baseman on the market, because it's going to be Carlos Santana again, basically, for the first base market. Like, you're not going to get anyone good, and instead you choose, like, essentially you want to move him there so that you can spend your money on better corner outfielders or outfielders in general. Like, I do understand fitting the roster needs to this, where you're not going to get a good first baseman, so stick him there because his defense isn't going to get better with age. But I do think his value will diminish after moving to first base. But he seems gung-ho about it. I think Shelton said today that he's been wanting to talk about it for 3 years.
Yeah,
I think is what they said. So if he's up for it and he feels, then I'm fine with it overall, even if I'm a little mixed.
Oh, I'm fully okay with putting him at first base. He's, I think he's taken a pretty decent step back in left field, and he's really just getting by on his instincts and smarts. But athletically, he's not quick.
Yeah, no, he's not. I just think left field and PNC is too much ground for him to cover.
Yeah, I also think there's something to be said about maybe he's trying to save his legs a little bit.
Yeah,
over the course of the season, he's going to be in his 30s. Just let's try to save those legs a little more. The bat's the actual value for him. And my God, it would be nice to be able to just pencil in a first baseman and not worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that. And honestly, again, if this is the route to get more competent bats in the lineup, I'm all for it, because we can't really be picky, and like, beggars can't be choosers. And so I'm not going to be too mad if like this is how we go and spend our money on a good corner outfielder. Like, I think so. I understand why they're doing it.
Yeah, I really do think a big part of it, though, is just you gave him that contract. Let's make sure that the bat remains valuable. You put him at first base. You save the legs a little bit. And I have a feeling he'd probably be a decent first baseman. It's not that hard. Like, everyone thinks first base is incredibly difficult because Pedro Alvarez made it look like walking on the moon.
I think that's Moneyball. I think it's Pedro Alvarez and Moneyball telling how hard it is to play first base, but
it's really not that hard.
Also, we all watched Josh Bell play first base for years.
Yeah,
that was a nightmare trip. So no, I think it does make sense. I know some people were outraged by it, but like, again, it's easier to find corner outfielders on the market than it is to find first baseman. So
yeah. Hey, if Bryce Harper can play first base, I'm okay moving Brian Reynolds to first base.
That's true. I actually completely forgot Bryce Harper even moved the first. So no, that makes sense.
But yep, that's where I'm at with that, and we're probably going to talk about that a lot this offseason.
Probably, yeah. I'm sure we'll hear. Well, I'm sure we'll hear more. Maybe it'll even stick him at first for a game. If
it didn't sound like they were interested in doing it by the end of the year.
They didn't. Okay, I didn't read the full thread from. I saw the first tweet from Noah, but I didn't see the whole thread.
I'm guessing Brian Reynolds just wants to play first base because he wants to be able to talk to people more often, because he seems like that type that really wants to talk to guys at first base.
Yeah, he real social guy.
Yeah, he seems like type to step in my office.
Real Scott Hatterberg on our hands.
All right,
Nope.
Neil. Anything else you got?
Nope. Just can't believe we got swept by this objectively terrible Cardinals team. I don't care that they're over 500. This team is garbage, and I'm upset that we got swept by them.
They're not swept yet. They play tomorrow.
Oh, is it the 4 game? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oops. My bad.
Yeah. 7:15 game tomorrow, and I got that one too. But they did lose the series to the Cardinals.
3 games in a row to the Cardinals, who I'm sorry, they're not a good team. Like looking up and down that lineup, it's so bad. Like, and when you get that many runs off of Sonny Gray, you need to win the game. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just disappointed.
Yep. Get back to the lab tomorrow. Try again. All right, let's get out of here, Neil.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.